all gravy with Teresa.
We're live.
Hey, how are y'all today? This is Teresa. You're watching It's All Gravy with Teresa. And who is this? Alex. And we're in Teresa's kitchen. It's great to see y'all again. We missed you last week. Schedules just didn't work. Clint had his schedule was a little bit crazy last week, and you know, he takes care of all this stuff. We always want to start by washing our hands. We've already cleaned our counters and bleached them off, and they've dried good. And today we're going to do just a simple little recipe, and that's kind of where we want to go with this, or have been trying to. It's things that you grew up with, or maybe your parents talked about, but you've really never tried to cook yourself. And fried potatoes is one that we had probably about every meal. We had some kind of potatoes when I was a kid. Meat and potatoes meal. And fried potatoes was one of the favorites. We had it for breakfast and we had it for supper. It was just a staple on our table. And they're so easy to fix, and I think sometimes people just get afraid of the simplest recipes because there's really nothing to it. We got 5 medium potatoes, and I'm going to go ahead and peel this oven with my handy dandy Pampered Chef peeler.
Not sponsored, could be sponsored.
Not sponsored, could be sponsored. So we're going to peel that, and you know, we're still trying our best to live intentional. So I'm peeling them all here, saving the peelings for my chickens. And since the little advice I took from Bentley Farms, our egg production is really up. We got a higher protein mix for them, feed. And I think it's 21 maybe. And we started feeding them table scraps. We don't have a whole lot of table scraps. As I said, like even in the business, I was a good guesser. We didn't have a lot of leftovers. But what little we do have left over, we're giving to the chickens. And I think that's helping them. They're liking it. So
Pan wants everyone to know
she's
here.
Pan wants you to know she's here. That's our cat that Clint got for a Christmas gift when he was a kid, and she's still hanging on, ruling the roost around here. So I'm going to go ahead and get our skillet started. We're going to turn the heat on about 6 just to get it going. And you can use, again, we're being intentional. You can use, I'm going to put bacon grease. I saved my bacon grease stuff in this pretty little jar. You can use vegetable oil, corn oil. I do not suggest olive oil because you need to get it a little bit hot to brown your potatoes, and olive oil doesn't do that real well. But we're going to put our bacon grease in here. And I'm going to guess, I should have measured this out, but I'm going to say it's about a ½ cup. And then potatoes, you know, they warm up good. If you want to stick them in, rather than put them in the microwave, if you want to stick them in the oven and you have any left over, I doubt you will. But if you have any left over, you know, you stick them in the oven just to get the chill off of them, and they're good to eat just like that. So we're going to let that start heating up, and you can see this is our eggs we're still getting. I saved them. We washed and cleaned and put everything up, and this is 2 days of eggs. And my grandson Layden, my oldest grandson, he takes care of doing that for me. A neat little story for him. For Maddie, his sister. I had saved money for her first car, and that's Robbie, my son, who passed away. So I wanted her to have her first car. And so I had saved money and put it up for her. Well, for Layden, you know, I'm not working anymore. So I don't have very much saved for his car, and he's 14 already. So we decided to give him some responsibility. He takes care of the chickens for me, and I give him $10 a week to put towards his car. And he has done so good at making sure he checks the eggs every day, and that he feeds them every day, and he talks to them. I saw him out there talking to them the other day. So there's always ways for us to help just a little bit if we just if we try. All right, my grease is getting warm. I'm going to turn it down.
And Stephanie Stillwell says, "Hey, beautiful."
Oh, Stephanie, I'm glad to see you.
Josh said, pamperedchef.com/Teresa's Kitchen.
There you go. Do what you can do, my little son. On the potatoes, I've diced some up here. And you can do these any way. Small dices, bigger dices. And I'll show you. My mother always sliced hers. And for whatever reason, I don't do that. But if you want, just a little slice. And those do great too. But I started these. Who's saying something?
Josh, I see your promo code. Betty Phelps says, "Good morning."
Good morning, Betty. What a beautiful day. The sun is shining so pretty today. I'm going to go out in a little bit, and I'm hoping it's a little bit warm today. We went out for a little bit yesterday. Grandson Tripp was here, and he loves to be outside.
Carol Ridgway says hello.
Hi, Carol. I hope you're doing well. Lord, Clinton, I just smiled big and forgot my pizza.
It's okay.
Lord, y'all. So, again, if I'm not smiling to the moon, it's because I forgot my portion plate again. The things we do when we get a little older. But you know, nothing has to be uniform.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it important to get them all the same size?
No, you want to try to have them similar size so they get done at the same time. You know, just know that if they're thin, it's not going to take as long to cook. And the thicker they are, the longer it'll take them. But I just like to do the potato, and I make 3 cuts. So I'll show you 1, 3 cuts, and then just go straight down. Always remember to fold your fingers in. Bobby Claypool.
That's what I was going to ask. Somebody taught you that.
Yes, Bobby Claypool. He was butcher for Houchins Industries for years. And he taught me how to cut and not cut my fingers off. So there's our potatoes. And this is just 4 medium-sized potatoes. And then this is where the part gets fun. Our recipes, we're just giving you the basic recipe, and then all the other stuff you're going to get to try and experiment with of what you like and what your family likes. I'm going to put onion in ours. This was a medium onion, and I'm just going to use half. If it was just Michael and I would probably put the whole onion, because we love onions, and onions are good for you. They fight off colds. Or that's what I've always been told. And the same thing.
Pan Pan. What? Pan Pan.
Pan Pan wants to be noticed today. So then, I'm going to do these kind of thin, because we want the taste. And then I'm just going to go back through them again. You know, if I was a real chef, I'd show y'all a few tricks, but I'm not. So, I'm just going to try to chop them up. My poor old hands are, I should have learned my tricks sooner. But there we go. This is a good sweet onion. You can put, you know, whatever kind that you want, but this is a sweet onion. All right, our grease is about to get warm. And you can see that looks like quite a bit, but we want it, oh, that bacon smells so good, bacon grease. You want the potatoes to brown. So we're going to put them in here, let them get a little bit brown, then we're going to flip them, and then we're going to put the lid on and let them get tender. So it's just very, very simple to do. Also, just a basic salt and pepper to taste. You could put garlic powder in here, red pepper flakes. I'm going to not put salt and pepper. I'm going to put Miss Dash in mine. And it's got all of it's the original blend, which has the salt, the pepper, the garlic. It's got everything in it.
Mrs. Dash, sponsor, please.
Yes. Mrs. Dash, we love you. If I had my teeth in, I'd smile really big.
The new Mrs. Dash.
Yeah. So our potatoes are done. And Amy, I don't know if your party is still going on, but whatever happened, I didn't get to come to it. I hope it was a great deal, and if I can still order, I will.
Josh said, "Girl, I love when you put onions in those bad daddies."
So here you can see our grease is warm, how it's
frying.
We're going to go ahead and just put all those in there. And I love my iron skillet. You can use, you know, regular cookware, but I love cooking in my iron skillets. And it's crazy for me to say that I have been keeping house now, which is out on my own, keeping house for 43 years, which is insane. And this is one of the skillets that I had way back when. My grandma, Miss Lethe Oliver, gave that to me when I ran off and married Dennis Gill. Which nobody was very happy about.
There's a story there.
Woo-hoo. Okay, so I'm going to turn those up. We're going to add our onions.
Buddy still asked if you can fix him a big burger.
Oh, buddy. You know, we can do that. Maybe we'll do it next. You know, I get my ground beef from Bentley Farms, and it is so good. And we do make the best burgers. So that's on the list. How about a bacon cheeseburger?
Those patty melts you made the other day.
Oh, my gosh. They were so good. It helps if you love food, buddy. So there's our onions, and that was about a ½ a cup. But you, again, that's your decision how much you want to put in there. And I'm foregoing the salt and pepper. This is where you would put just what you want in there. And I am going to put Mrs. Dash. And I'm pretty liberal with it. We're going to cover her up. Just like that. I'm going to put the lid on for a minute. And we will let those cook. And then we're going to turn them a few minutes. And you'll see how they're getting brown. And we'll leave the heat up until we get them browned on both sides. And then we're going to turn the heat down and let them get tender. A few things I was going to show you that I did this week. You know, all of our bread. Is somebody saying something?
Josh said he's still upset about it.
Oh.
You running off with Dennis Gill.
Yeah, many of us are.
Yeah.
But as the old song goes, I was kind of like Johnny Cash, boy named Sue. You know, I had to succeed or starve to death. So I'll give him that. You know, he did. He gave me 2 beautiful children that I had to take care of, and the rest of it, as we say, is history. I made breadcrumbs, croutons. So we have been saving ever since we got on this mission of living more intentional and trying not to waste the heels of the bread or the ends of the bread, whatever your family calls them. We save all that. If there's an extra hamburger bun or a hot dog bun that doesn't get eaten, we save all that. And I cut it up in little cubes, and I sprinkle a little olive oil on it, and I put it on baking sheets in the oven on 200, and I leave it for about 20 minutes. And it makes these beautiful croutons. And I also have a bag that is that I mash up. Isn't that beautiful? I mash up for breading. So if you want to bread your chicken or your fish. So, living intentional, free. Just have it come up in the oven for a little bit. And then I save the canned sweet for our biscuits. And this is what my grandma used for years and years. I looked for a little olive, you know how you could get the little olives, and that's actually what hers was. So it was a little shorter olive can. But these are the perfect size to make your biscuits. So you don't have to go buy one of them biscuit cutters. Just a can will do, or like I did on our video, I just use a glass. But these are good. You can rewash them and stick it in the cabinet and have it ready to go. Alright, you can see these are really going to town over here.
Oh, it smells so good.
Yeah, we're going to give them a few more minutes before we flip them. And I told Clint I was really glad we were filming today. I have gotten hooked on these online auctions, and it's like a drug. You know, it started off, it was, I was looking at these people that do theirs, and they had some great stuff, and I got great deals for Christmas gifts. Did really good through Christmas. But then now I'm hooked, and I've been buying, like...
Anything?
Anything. Like, I was watching one last night, and I just love to watch them. Like, I could watch them the whole night, and I do, you know, which is a little unsettling sometimes. But, like, and I did find some great deals on sheets. Everybody, you can't have enough sheets. So I got some great deals on sheets last night from...
Is it the New to You?
No, it's...
Hidden Treasures?
Oh, I was trying to think of his name. Bubio. He's right over here on 185, and mowing business. And, so, anyway, got some good stuff. But then I also have stuff that I got that I'm trying to think maybe I'm going to put them in a box for the kids for Valentine's Day. Cards that, you know, you can do flashcards. And a tin box for crayons. And I mean, when it's $2 for $1, what are you going to do?
Can't pass it up.
Somebody needs it.
Yeah.
Somebody needs it bad. So my husband's trying to talk me down. He's trying to talk me down.
Buddy asked what time is lunch.
Oh my goodness, you head this way, buddy. Head this way.
And Carol says, wow, that looks delicious.
Look at here. See how pretty and brown?
I wish y'all could smell it.
I know. So we're going to start stirring them around. And don't worry about all the grease. We're going to drain that off when they get done. I always take, I've got this big bowl set out here, and I line it good with paper towels. And then we take these out. And see, they're even starting to get a little tender where you put the lid on there. See, they're getting there.
Yeah. Ooh, so good.
I was trying to think what else I can tell you today while we're waiting on them cooking.
T-shirts?
Oh, we do have T-shirts. Amy. No, Amy's your daughter. Pat. Blair, yours is on the way. Amy Stillwell, yours is done and sitting here. I just hadn't mailed it yet. And they are $20 a piece. My daughter-in-law and my granddaughter make those, Maddie and Mandy. And the profits from that I'm giving to Maddie for school. And she's got offers. She hadn't decided yet where she's going to go, but she's a smart little girl, and we're just very proud of her.
She graduates this year.
She does graduate this year. The T-shirts are It's All Gravy, and you know, we talk about all the time how we love having our name out there. Teresa's Restaurant, the T-shirts are the only advertising that we ever did. That and word of mouth. And the T-shirts, my sisters continue to do that. Con-Cons on Russellville Road has cute shirts. And my sister Melissa out at the Melissa's Cafe at Rockville, hers have all these sayings on the back, like, if you want to have a good day, mind your own gravy, or yeah. I don't think that's it, but it's something to that effect. Eat the biscuits and mind your own gravy, something.
I think that's right.
But she has cute little sayings on hers, and another great way for advertising. And probably one of the, years ago, I took the kids to a ball game at Western. And we're sitting in the stands, and there's these guys up there, these big old guys, football players, and they were watching a basketball game. And where they came in the restaurant all the time, they had Queen Bee shirt. They wanted, no, it's not. So here the big old guys are at the ball game with these "No, I'm Not Teresa's" T-shirts. And it was so, it was funny, and it was so heartwarming. To see how the advertising works. You know, they were advertising for me and really didn't even know they were, I guess. But it's always been a great way for us to advertise, and we love to see our name out there. We're so fortunate that, you know, I came to Rockville in 1989 and started the first Teresa's Restaurant. Shirley Basham had the building out there. And he knew who had it. So we opened our first business. The community was just precious. Mike Porter, Robert and Richard Oates. I remember us putting our sign up first day, and that sign is still hanging on the side of Teresa's building down on 185 now. But what a proud moment. We saved up enough money to get that sign and to have the community bring their tractors and lift and bring it out there and get it hooked up. And I think Frank from Brothers Electric come and hook the electric up to it. And it was one of those moments where me and the boys got in the car and went back, and Clint wasn't born yet, so it was just the three boys. And we went to the parking lot and just sat, and I went inside and turned the light on, and we just sat and looked at Teresa lights. It was a great day. So from there, here we are, all these years later. You guys have fed my family well, and I've made lots of wonderful friends along the way. So thank you, Bowling Green and surrounding counties. And my girls, my sisters, are still in it. Still loving people and still cooking good home-cooked food. Here we go. Now there, you see your onions, how they're getting good and brown. So this is another, you know, you don't have to stand here constantly, but you do need to be close with it. So I'm going to leave it up where it's at for now and let them get a little bit more brown. Did Amy say anything back about her party?
No, not yet.
So, buddy, how are you doing? Are the girls cooking for you, or are you learning how to cook? So if you're learning how to cook, you can make them fried potatoes today. Buddy is a good friend of mine, and he just lost his beautiful wife not too long ago. And so I keep him in my prayers, and I hope you all do. Life goes on. And that's probably been my biggest lesson with the lives that the people I love that I've lost, is that the world keeps turning. I remember when Robbie passed away, I could not believe that I was stopped in my tracks and everything else just kept going. People were going to the grocery, kids were going to school, people were going to work. And so that was a big lesson for me, that life keeps going. And if we are believers, we believe we're going to see them again. And so that's what I hope you're holding on to, buddy. I love you.
He said the girls cook for him.
Was surprising with some fried potatoes.
And he said, "Thank you, my friend."
Let's see. What are we going to talk about now, Clint?
We've got YouTube.
Oh, we are on YouTube now. And we remember Clint a few weeks ago, he loaded our stuff just to YouTube. And we really got the followers up by doing that. And so thank you all. I know it is hard to remember your password. And so when you go to YouTube, you have to sign in to subscribe. So you have to remember your
Google account and all
your
that
Google
stuff.
account and all that junk to do it. So I know it's a little bit of a headache, and I appreciate you so much for doing it. And there's my Christian.
Hey, buddy.
Tiptoeing around. Christian's excited for this to be done because we get to go buy a game today. He's been saving his money. And
$31 too.
He's got $31, which is enough to buy a used wrestling game. So that's what we're going to try to find today. The YouTube, again, thank you for that. You know, if we can get to 1,000 followers on that, that opens some new doors for us. And I have... I aspire to be like Brenda Gant. Is that her name?
Yes.
Brenda Gant. She's a lady that I watch her show a lot of times. She does just good old country cooking. And she's, I think, from Alabama. And she has a bed and breakfast there. So I remind myself she has a following already from her bed and breakfast. But she does great, you know, and she's just homey. And so I like watching her, and I think you all would too. And then these lives, I'm absolutely loving doing those, just where I can, it makes me feel closer to you all. And I really miss that more than anything from the restaurant. You know, we've talked again about what, you know, grief is such a monster. And a lot of times if we don't get help and we don't let our friends and family be close to us, Christian, we're trying to do this. So if we don't do that, then sometimes we make rash decisions. And that's what happened with Teresa's. And I was so broken that I called a friend of mine that was in business, and we sold Teresa's within 30 days. I just could not take it any longer. I couldn't do work anymore. Things were failing, and you all who know me know that I want it done the best, to the best of my ability, and I pushed the people who work for me to do the same, and I wasn't doing that. So in 30 days, I sold a thriving business. If I had to go back, I probably wouldn't do that, but God takes all things and works them to His good. Because of me getting out of that business, we're in foster care now, and we've had about, I think, 8 kids so far that we still have contact with, and we still have 3 here. And what a beautiful, hard thing to do that is. It's very hard. It's very hard to do that, but we do very, they're great kids, and they just need somebody to love them. So, we're going to turn our taters one more time. Yeah. There we go. That's what we want. And that's not burnt, as my mother-in-law would say. That's just done. But we want them good and crispy. And those onions is what you see that's black in there. And that's okay. It's the way we want them.
Just extra flavor.
Yes. And then when you get them done, if you do them in these little cubes, they don't get as mushed up. The slices, because they do get done faster, they'll kind of just make it mushy.
Easy to squish.
Right. And so I started Actually, Michael, my husband, is the one that got me started doing them in dices. So those are about done. We're going to let them cook just a few more minutes. We have told you about the T-shirts. We've told you about YouTube. The Facebook. You know, if you can, I don't think for whatever reason you're not supposed to say, you're supposed to say sprinkled now. What? Something. That's what somebody said. But anyway, share our video. Yeah. And with anybody who is learning to cook or finds themselves that they need to learn how to cook, our mission, you know, our mission statement, I think, would be not forgetting where we came from. And all these old, easy recipes that kept us fed, I don't want to lose those. I want my grandchildren to know how to cook and for them to be able to pass that down. And in turn, we started canning and growing a garden. We started that last year. I want to pass that on to my children and grandchildren. And it's kind of like riding a bicycle. You know, I hadn't done it in years, 40-some years. But when I got into doing it, it was fun and I had a good time. And we've got a pantry shelf downstairs. Pantry shelf. We did peaches and tomatoes and pickles. Our cucumbers did so good. Many pickles. But my children and grandchildren love dill pickles, so we got 2 shelves of pickles down there. And then not throwing things away. You know, we got the chickens, and of course you don't really make anything off of them. It costs you more. The good thing is, you know, you're getting grain fed and you're getting eggs where the chickens are, you know, they get to walk around and have a free life and they're actually pretty pampered. One of the things on my list to do this spring is to talk Michael into building me a separate chicken run and house for meat birds. We're trying to do that. And from what I've learned, you need to keep those separate because they'll eat up all the food from your egg layers. So that's kind of on the list for us to do. We want to expand our garden a little bit and try to grow some different things. Learned a lot. My Uncle Leroy, when he came and looked at it, told me my tomatoes were way too close. So I replanted some of those, but I did big boys, and we still had they were way too close. So we learned a lot our first year. So y'all kind of watch that, stay with us and see how that's going. We started a little compost pile, learning how to do that and make our own fertilizer and not waste so much. So I'm enjoying it. You know, I keep saying that I want to be on the beach drinking margaritas with my toes in the sand, and then I will see my grandchildren running across the yard and know that I wouldn't miss this for the world. I'm right where God wants me to be. That's a pretty good feeling most days.
Well, speaking of, Shelly says hi from the Florida Blares.
Shelly!
Keep up the good work. Love you,
Shelly. Love you, honey. Love you. Y'all keep traveling and sending me the pictures.
She didn't mean that about the beach. She'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, they're getting older. Maddie's 18 and River's 1. That's the ages of my grandchildren. Maddie's turning 18, and my youngest does turn 1. So I will be there, Shelly, eventually. And we have Patreon. If you guys want to go to that site and look at it, that just helps with our production cost and Clint having to run out here. And for whatever, you know, it's just sitting there in an account for us to see what we're going to decide to do. And I say it all the time, and maybe I will make it come to pass, is trying a food truck. And I would like to try that, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Go ahead.
Was going to see if you wanted to plug my new book.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I even forgot it. Clint, my son, the author, Clinton Wayne Waters, or I think his page is Clinton W. Waters. and he is a terrific writer. His last book, he found out about self-publishing through Amazon, and this is his fifth book that he has published through them. Y'all please look him up. This one is called 30, and it is so good. It's a short little read. If you're an avid reader, you can read it in a night as you go to bed, or 2 nights at the most. And it's all about the turning 30 and your fears and your expectations, and it's a little futuristic. So I think you would love it. Y'all check him out through Amazon. Clinton W. Waters, my son, the author. And I'm so proud of Clinton. You know, he was a Governor Scholar, just never gave me a minute's trouble with anything. And I'll remember when I found out, and Clint, I hope it doesn't embarrass you, honey, but I've already started it.
Here we go.
When I found out I was pregnant with Clinton, Carl and I had separated, and I was by myself in that restaurant, had started it, and 3 children already. And I thought, there is no way I can raise another child by myself. And so, you know, abortion, as bad as it hurts me, I made an appointment to go out of state and have that done. And the closer the time come, I just knew I couldn't do it. And God gave me a dream of a beautiful, dark-haired, beautiful baby boy. And that's what I got. And that was 30 years ago. And he has been such a joy to me and such a gift. So anybody facing that, there's all kinds of choices you can make. And we have, through this foster care, we have run into tons of people who want new babies. So don't think there's not a way out. Don't think that you have to do that. There's plenty of ways that you can get help. So, sorry about throwing you under the bus. But even though I didn't want you then, I could not.
No buyer's remorse?
Right. I could not have lived without you. Thank you for letting me share that story.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think our potatoes are done after I wipe these tears out of my eyes. Just know that God has a plan for us, guys. And a lot of times, it's not what we think. Most times, it's not what we think. And even when we mess up, if we let Him, He can do miraculous things with those mistakes. All right, so I've got my dish that I'm going to put my potatoes back in. Y'all, my mother-in-law, bless her heart, she's been staying with us. She had some back surgery done, and she's 81 years old. And you know how I like to boss people around.
She got her folding towels.
Yeah, she's folding towels. Yeah, keeping her heat. But she, we had an old wheelchair here from where I had hurt my leg. And I think Connie got it for me from somebody. But anyway, she was using that wheelchair to get around in and not trying to walk like I thought she should. So anyway, I talked to the physical therapist and I said, how about we throw that wheelchair away to make her walk? And that's what we've done.
Bob, she said they burned it.
Yeah, and she has done so good. She's 81 years old. I know she's in pain. But we talked, you know, if you're going to be here, you need to have some semblance of living. You don't just be stuck in that bedroom. So she's doing great, using her walker, doing her exercises, folding the towels, and
garbage bag.
Yeah, and the garbage bags. That's her job from the grocery. She gets to fold all the garbage bags. But she has been such a blessing to this family to have her here daily and hear her stories. She's her parents were first generation Polish family that came here, settled in New York. So to hear all those stories, it really is a gift. So don't count the old people out.
While we do this, Miss Hughes said, you were blessed with Clint, a special young man, and Clint was blessed with you.
Oh,
that's very
sweet.
true.
How sweet. All right, look at these potatoes, y'all. Buddy, are you looking? Oh my gosh, these are perfect. And you see, you can just have a slotted spoon or a spatula, and you lift them out of the grease. Make sure you got plenty of paper. I double my paper towels up in these bowls. And then you put a little ketchup on these if you want, or a little hot sauce, or, you know, when we were at the restaurant, I would put ranch dressing and Louisiana hot sauce. And, oh, they're so good on fried potatoes.
Buddy said, yeah, he's hungry.
All right. All right. There we go, guys. Look at our potatoes. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I just let these soak on here for a little bit, and I'll turn them up here to kind of show you. See where it's getting the grease. So you just let them set for a little bit.
Jeff Whalen said they look great.
Hi, Jeff. That's another thing for you to try. These potatoes. To go with your biscuits. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for listening to my rambling. There's no way for me to tell you how much I miss the people at Teresa's. The conversations like I have with you on here, there would be somebody come into the restaurant and I would just know that they needed to hear that, or they needed to hear a story of survival, or they needed to hear, I miss that. I miss when God would tell me, or I feel God would tell me to go talk to so-and-so, that they needed a touch, or they needed a hug, or they needed a smile. You know, our first logo that we come out with, smiles are free. Come on in where smiles are free. And I would always tell the girls and the people working there, you know, the least we can do for people who are making our paycheck is to give them a smile. And that doesn't cost us a thing. My sister Melissa has Where Smiles Are Still Free, which was a special tribute to us, and I appreciate that. But that's it, guys. That's all I've got. Enjoy making you some fried potatoes. Enjoy spicing them up however you see fit. And let me know how it went. And we'll get with you real soon and let you know when our next live is going to be. I appreciate you so much hanging in there with us, and know I love you. And I'm thinking of you, my friends, and we'll see you real soon. God bless.